If you don't have a lot of time or you get stuck for ideas when you're journaling, you should try my 1-2-3 method. I posted it last week where I worked in my book of neutrals, and someone asked me if it was possible to use the method in color. So this week I'm sharing a video where I'm using my 1-2-3 method in yellow. The first step is to pick a focal point. I'm using a cutout from a painting that I did a while ago. Then you pick 2 accent pieces. I'm using this little yellowish tag that I found in my stash, and also this little cutout of a cute little yellow bird. And then lastly, you pick 3 things that are more of a background. I'm using this circle cutout from a piece of junk mail, a piece of a tea packet, and a piece of scrapbook paper. So I'm just going to start layering those first 3 things to start to give my page a little bit of structure. There's my tea packet, and then next I'll use this circle that I cut out from junk mail, and then I had a little piece of scrapbook paper in my inspiration box that I keep on my desk. Next, I'm going to go in with my focal point. It makes sense to put it here in the bottom right-hand corner and kind of layer it on top of my background pieces. And then it's time for my accents. I've really gotten into ripping out little pictures like this instead of using a pair of scissors. I just really like the look that it gives. It's just a little bit more of an organic shape and it looks nice on your page. And by the way, I'm just using a standard glue stick to put this page together. And then lastly, I've got one more accent piece, and that's this yellow sticker that looks like a nice little tag with a yellow flower on it. In my other 1-2-3 video, I used this decorative ruler to create a wavy line as a border on one side of the page, and people seem to like that, so I thought I would try that again. I'm using a Tombow brush style marker here just to trace along the edge of my ruler, and then I'm just going back into the little wave parts of the line and adding in some little dots just to give it a little bit more visual interest. I find that doing a bit of mark making in these types of collages can just add some extra texture to your page and kind of help pull the design together a little bit so that it becomes more of an art journal piece. And seeing that I had some blank space there still on the left-hand side of the page, I decided to try out this stencil using that same Tombow marker. I've never really used markers with stencils before. This is just kind of an organic grid stencil that I got in a grab bag of stencils at a thrift store a while ago. That was a major score, by the way. It actually had stencils that I was looking for. Most of my stencils are fairly botanical in theme, and I wanted some things that were a little bit more geometric like this. So I'm just filling in a bunch of these little squares in the blank space on my page. And again, I think doing this kind of thing just adds a bit of texture and interest to a page that is mostly collage. And there we go. I actually really like how this turned out, and I think I'll be doing more of this in the future. So just to wrap up, let's go over that formula again. First, you pick a focal point that will be the center of your collage, and you'll build everything else around it. Then you will pick 2 accent pieces. In this case, I'm doing a collage in the same color scheme, so I picked 2 yellow accent pieces, and then you pick 3 background pieces. And again, since I'm doing a single color theme here, I picked these yellow pieces. But do keep in mind that you can use this same kind of formula in whatever you want. You could do it all in neutrals, you could do it multicolored. The point is not to rush, but to give you a simple, repeatable formula that you could use anytime you feel like making something, so that you can have it in mind and just sit down and start making when you feel like it without having to think too much about your design or the process that you're going to use. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you feel inspired to sit down and give the 1-2-3 method a try, and most of all, I hope you feel inspired to journal your world. Take care now.